Attention sheep exhibitors, first call for our commercial ewe white-faced, first call for our commercial ewe white-face, and first call for our commercial ewe speckle-face. First call for our white-face and our speckle-face commercial ewes. We want to welcome everybody to our 2024 Sioux County Youth Fair. We are ready to start our sheep show. Our judge today is Adam Wirt. Adam and his wife have two daughters, Jovi and Emerson. They live over by Lenox, South Dakota. They raise both club lambs and purebred Southdown sheep. He attended South Dakota State University and has a degree in agricultural systems technology and was a member of the South Dakota State University livestock judging team. He is currently the general manager at Poet Bioprocessing in Hudson, South Dakota. One of our focuses within our operation, he says, at his home is to provide youth with the chance to participate in livestock industry because they believe in the value it teaches youth. So he offers to judge as another way to support the kids and the families that do this and put the effort into showing animals. Let's welcome Adam to Sioux County with a round of applause. Attention sheep exhibitors. Second call for our white face, our speckled face breeding ewes. Second call for our second class, our speckled face commercial ewes. First call for our black face ewe class 1. First call for the class 1 commercial ewe blackface.
Well, good afternoon, and it's certainly a much nicer day to be outside and working with kids and youth than it has been the last 3 or 4 days. And a nice class to start off with here in this white face division. The young lady to my right will be our class winner. And yes, definitely one that maybe isn't as pounds big, but I think quality-wise is definitely the one that exudes in this pair. One that strikes you right away is more dead level in her makeup down her top and her underline. One that has more shape to her center body and rib cage. And as we get behind her, one that has more spread, especially as we come out of that hip and lower leg region. Not from the young ladies, you in second. I appreciate the extra length and extension and frame she has. I like her performance. To me, when we put her in motion, her top tends to get up in the air a little bit, and she gets plainer from behind for me. But 2 really nice entries. Let's give those young ladies a big round of applause.
Exhibiting our white-faced commercial ewes, our first place was Rael Cruzy, our second, Lexi Ewalt. Entering the ring now is our commercial ewe speckled face class. Second call, class 1 commercial ewe blackface. Second call, class 1 commercial ewe blackface. First call for the commercial ewe blackface class 2. First call, class 2 blackface commercial ewe. So 2 extremely high quality individuals out here, and if I were these young ladies, I'd be really proud of these 2 because they're super nice speckle face sheep, and they're quite different as you study them. And for me, I guess I just continue to come back to the young lady here on the left. I appreciate this one in terms of how smooth she is about her shoulder, how long and elegant she is about her neck, and when we get off to the side, I really appreciate her balance, and I think it's when you get to her underline, that's where this one has an advantage. She's more tucked up in her chest. She's more even about her rear flank. And as we get our hands on her, I think she has plenty of shape. She's a trimmer, maybe more fresh handling one today. Is she is stout at the ground? No. Is she as cracked open in her muscle as the other one? No. But I think she fits together in a more smooth and complete package. It's just a place for me to start. Young lady in 2, this one is incredible in terms of footwork and bone, spread across her top. It's just when I get up to the side comparative to the other one, maybe a little deeper chested relative, but
But if that's your kind, go with it. I think it's a really high quality ewe, a really close pair. Let's give them a nice round of applause.
Exhibiting our first place commercial ewe, the speckle face breed, was Kinley Cameraman. Second, Elise Zwart. We will now be starting our black face commercial ewes. Our first class of black face commercial ewes. Attention sheep exhibitors, second call, class 2, commercial blackface ewes. Second call, class 2, commercial blackface ewes. First call 3. First call for class 3, commercial blackface ewes. First call, class 3, commercial blackface ewes.
Young man brings us one that's just easily that you're able to tie into and just appreciate so many things about her. Just super gorgeous from the side, gives you a great profile. Love the point and height of her shoulder and how that front end comes together. A sheep that's got plenty of mass, plenty of stoutness. Really nice place to start. Young lady in 2, I really appreciate this one as we study her through her midsection. Maybe the most robust ewe of the class in terms of rib shape, true chest spread, and mass working down her top. With that comes, she's a rounder made sheep. She's a little rounder about her shoulder, a little rounder about her hip. Just not quite as flashy and sharp in some of those points, but she offers a lot of value in terms of production, mass, width, and we can build from that. This young man in 3, there's some features and assets in that ewe that I think are phenomenal. When we talk about top spread and shape, that one is big. It's got a groove working in its rack. This one progresses and gets wider from rack to hip. I really like those things. It's right there like in that pose, and when we put her into motion, we got to soften her top line. We got to drop her flank and allow her to track out of those rear wheels better to move up. Young lady that rounds out the class, I think this is a sheep that's built right. The pieces are there. It's just one that simply needs more time on feed and a little more performance to be competitive here. But let's put our hands together for a nice drive.
In our first class of commercial U blackface, first place went to Kenny Hulsoff, second, Kinley Kammerman, receiving blues, Nash, Verilick, and Cheyenne Zutenhorst. Entering the ring now will be our second class of commercial U blackface. Attention sheep exhibitors, second call. Class 3 commercial U blackface, second call. Class 3 commercial U blackface. And first call for the Class 4 commercial U blackface class. First call, Class 4.
Fun class to sort, and I think there's lots of quality all the way through. They're just built a lot different than one another, and then as we get out here and analyze them, I think there's two that surface up for me that are built more alike. And the young lady that wins, man, this is one when we can get her on the side profile and set up. I think she gives you a great profile there. I think her lines fit into her top sits into her better, and more importantly, that's the smooth made one. Her shoulder and forerib blend better, her hip-loin junctions better. She gives us more shape as we come out of the pin set. If we could just take that one's next set and move it up a little bit, that one becomes really good, really fast. Young lady in 2, I love it when you put your hands on that sheep. That is one fresh-made, hard-handling sheep. That's one that's super tall-fronted, and that one pulls me in that way. Get off to her. She just doesn't blend quite as neat through her loin juncture. She's not quite as explosive in her pin set. Change those couple of things, she gets more competitive. To me, she's just not as smooth in her pattern as our class winner. Young man's you in 3rd. Man, there's a big, robust cage one that's got some length of body, some stoutness to her. she just gets a notch plainer about her front end. She tends to drop at the point of her shoulder. Her neck wants to fall in. If we could just make her more attractive, she becomes more competitive in this class. The young lady that rounds out the drive, again, one that brings lots of value. Really good in her lines, tons of spread to her body and rib cage, lots of muscle. She just gets shorter and more compact in her build, and one that just doesn't, probably not going to get better as she gets bigger. Just like to lengthen her out and stretch her out and give her some more maturity in that pattern to be more competitive. Let's give those kids a nice round of applause.
In our second class of our blackface ewes, first place went to Baylor Van Riggemorter. Second, Elise Zwart. Receiving blues, Elise Zwart and Brody Hoyer. Entering the ring now is our third class of our blackface commercial ewes. Attention sheep exhibitors, second call, class 4. Second call, class 4. We will be choosing the champion blackface breeding ewe after class 4, so please have first and second place to the north side of the ring.
So the two ewes on the top end of this class, I think, are outstanding females to work with. They offer us a little bit different assets as we study them, but there's no doubt in my mind the young man's ewe wins this drive. of the pair, this is the one that ties better into her neck and shoulder set. She's more feminine about her front end, and the way that she just blends from that shoulder back is really cool to me. One that I think, again, the pieces fit, really complete, nice place to start. The young ladies U and 2, this is a kind that they're really unique, and I think there's tons of breeding value there. In terms of rib shape and being cracked open, that one exceeds this class by a mile. I love that rib cage. I love the stoutness and power that she brings us. To me, it's her front end structure I want to change. I want to bring that neck set up and onto the top of her shoulder. I want to lengthen that shoulder, and I just want to take that shoulder blade and smooth it up. That's me. I just want to change that. But I really appreciate those assets she'd bring a program. She might be a changer that way. She just doesn't blend as neat and as cool looking as our class winner. But that's a really nice U to fall too. Young lady in 3's got an outstanding project, and you just found 2 hammers in front of you, to be honest. I think your U's built really well. Lines fit. She's super smooth. That's a fresh handling one. She's just plainer about her front end. She's plainer about her shape comparative to those. But that's a really nice U. Young man in 4, I just wish that U would cooperate because I think she's a lot better animal than she projects when she's on the side profile. We put her into motion. That one blends well together. She's got pieces you like. It's just when we get her on the standstill, she wants to pull down in that front end. Just doesn't give us a look through that neck and shoulder set that I'd ideally like to see. Young man that rounds out the drive, one that's extra long-sided, has some extra frame and grow to her. Again, she just gets plainer compared to her class in terms of body shape and mass. We just need to make her a notch wider and more powerful in her muscle shape to move up. Let's give that class a big round of applause.
In our 3rd class of commercial blackface U's, our first place was Clancy DeBrick. 2nd, Molly Halsuff. Receiving blues, Kinley Cameraman, Brody Hoyer, and Bryce Fetters. In the ring now is our last class of commercial blackface U's. We will be choosing our champion commercial blackface U after this class. Attention sheep exhibitors, first call for our Dorset and Suffolk purebred U's. First call for our Dorset and Suffolk's purebred U's.
Young ladies natural's a pretty natural spot or place to start this drive. I got a U that's got some balance and eye appeal. She's got some shape, got a nice look to her. Just a lot of things to pull into on that U and like. The young lady in 2, a U that's, again, got some spread, has some shape and muscle. She just gets softer about her handle and look. Maybe one, again, we'd like to add a little more squareness and shape to push her up higher in this drive. The young lady that rounds out the drive, again, a capacious one that's got some growability. That's one I'd like to change her build by softening her top line and, again, moving her neck set up just a notch higher. Let's give those young ladies a big round of applause.
In our class 4 of our commercial blackface U's, first place went to Addison Westergaard, 2nd, Lexi Ewalt, and receiving a blue, Lexi Ewalt. We will now be bringing in our champion and reserve champion winners to be choosing the champion black face breeding ewe. Second call for our purebred ewe, Dorset and Suffolk. Second call for our purebred ewes, Dorset and Suffolk.
Well, let's put our hands together for the kids out in this division here today. They brought a really nice set of sheep for us to work through. Yeah, I'm not going to go back and repeat thoughts on them. We've worked through them once. I think there's a handful of sheep that just step out and you need to consider. I'll go out and select the champion and reserve in this division, and as they do, let's put our hands together for those individuals.
Our champion blackface breeding ewe was exhibited by Clancy Debrick and our reserve Molly Halsup. Entering the ring now, we are moving into our purebred classes. Our first class is our purebred Dorset ewe.
So this young lady's done a really nice job with this project, and a Dorset ewe I really like. When I look at Dorsets, most days they usually don't have enough stuff to them, enough groceries. Young lady, your sheep's got plenty. That one's a big top, big rear-ended, big cage Dorset, but yet the really nice frontage yet, balances up well. A really good project for her. Let's give this young lady a nice round of applause.
Exhibiting our champion Dorset breeding ewe was Baylor Van Rigemorter. Entering the next is going to be our Suffolk purebred ewe. After our purebred will be going against each other for our champion purebred breeding ewe, we will be choosing the overall champion breeding ewe. So we will need the champions from the white face, speckled face, and black face to go against our other champion purebred breeding ewes.
Our lone Suffolk ewe out here. Here's a ewe that's got some shape to her, got some stoutness for her breed, got some roundness to her body. Again, I think a ewe that fits together right, really smooth in her build. Nice project. Let's give her a big round of applause.
Exhibiting our purebred Suffolk ewe today was Allison Mueller. All right, before we do overall, we had to pick a champion purebred ewe between these back two ewes. So in that drive, I'm going to use the young lady's Dorset as your champion and the young lady's Suffolk as reserve, okay? So we can take the Suffolk, we can move her back in line. And this would be your 4 breed divisions, right? Got white face influence, we got our speckles, got our crossbreds, and we have our purebred class. So like we've done all day, let's put our hands together and congratulate these kids for coming out, not only to the fair, but every day going out and work with livestock projects, right? This is really important to this area we live in. Animal agriculture is huge here, and to see kids doing this is awesome because there's no doubt everybody around this ring knows these are the kids that are going to come back to our communities, to our farm operations. They're going to be the kids that are driving us in the future. So remember these faces, remember these names, because these will be the kids that are doing the jobs of the people around the ring, working in town at the feed company, the egg co-op. These are the kids that understand work ethic and determination and how to respond to ups and downs in life. So thanks for what you kids do. I really appreciate it, and I don't think we tell you guys that enough because this is a huge effort.
with that said, it's been a really nice youth show. As we look through them again, there's a handful that stick out to me. As I go out here, let's put our hands together one more time for our champion reserve breeding youth.
Our overall champion breeding ewe was exhibited by Clancy DeBreek. Now Clancy and Molly Halsoff, with her overall reserve champion, you two will be heading to the Northwest Iowa Showdown. So enjoy yourself down at that Northwest Iowa Showdown. Okay. Attention sheep exhibitors, I need Destiny Ewald, Cody Hansen, Lane Skolton, and Dana Skolton to come to the show ring. And I need Rael Cruz and Kayla Fetters to come to the show ring.
All right. These four exhibitors, you guys can look at the audience if you want. These four exhibitors did an advanced feeder lamb project this year. For those of you who don't know what an advanced feeder lamb project is, they get 3 lambs, they buy them, they pick them, and then they grow them from weigh-ins in May till now. So they weigh them in, and then we as superintendents go out to their farm, look over their projects, make sure they're doing a good job of feeding, watering, maintaining their livestock. And then a judge meets with them this morning, gives them a live interview, kind of asks some harder questions, and then looks over their records. So they get a good grasp over record keeping and how to grow a herd of livestock. So there's 4 different categories. I don't have my banner with me, sorry guys. 4 different categories. So there's records and management is one category. There's live placement, which is when we go out and we judge them as superintendents. There's rate of gain, so how many pounds per day they can put on, and then there is the interview portion. So they get graded on all 4 of those. So your champion advanced feeder lamb project was Cody Hansen this year. Your reserve champion was Lane Scouten. Your 3rd place winner was Dana Scouten, and your 4th place winner was Destiny Ewald. So go ahead and give them a round of applause for all their work. Okay, the second award that we have here is the Champion and Reserve Champion Rate of Gain. So all of our market lambs come in and weigh in on the first Saturday of May, and then they get weighed in again on Monday morning of the fair. So this year, champion rate of gain is Rael Cruzy with a rate of gain 0.75. And your reserve champion rate of gain was Kayla Fetters with 0.74. Good job growing your animals, guys.
Attention, sheep exhibitors, our first call for our bucket bottle lamb class. First call for our bucket bottle lamb class. First call for our speckle face market individual. First call for our speckle face market individual. First call for our white face market individual. First call for our white face market individual.
So this is our bottle lamb class, and these two young ladies have some narratives about their lamb project this summer. Bryn, the young lady in the back, one of the things she wanted to have as a goal was to have fun with her project. And I can't understate, I think that's awesome, because too many times we get too competitive and forget about enjoyment. I think that's great. The young lady up here was talking about how she has performance and makes her lamb grow, and yet wanted to be ready to come to the fair so she could have an exhibit. And I thought that was really good too. So they did an excellent job. The young lady in the front with the more Suffolk marked leather is going to be your champion bottle lamb, and the young lady in the back will be your reserve. Let's put our hands together for them today.
Exhibiting our bucket bottle lambs, our first place went to Kayla Fetters, and our second with a light purple is Bryn Hansen. Entering the ring now will be our first class of market sheep, our speckle face market individual. Attention sheep exhibitors, second call for our white face market individual. Second call for our white face market individual. Our first call for Class 1 market black face. First call for Class 1 of the market black face lambs. Oops.
It's a nice high quality speckle faced lamb here that I think, again, one that could withstand some nice competition. A lamb that's got a nice square shape to him, level in his makeup down his back, has some spring and shape to that body and spread to that body mass. Just a really nice weather for the young lady. Let's give her a big round of applause.
Exhibiting our champion market individual of the speckle face breed was Kinley Cameraman. Entering the ring next will be our white face market animal.
The young lady's Dorset ewe is one that's performed really well. I like the extra frame and size this one brings to our class out here. One that's ultra elegant and neat about her front end. One that's really long-sided. One that has some shape. Maybe we'd relax her top line just a little bit. But I think that's a really nice made Dorset ewe lamb to be champion in this division. Let's give her a nice round of applause.
Exhibiting our white face market individual was Rael Cruzy. Entering the ring next will be our first class of black face market lambs. Our first class of black face market lambs. Attention sheep exhibitors. First call, Class 2 of the black face lambs. First call, Class 2. First call, Class 3. First call, Class 3. Bring them all.
The young lady's dark sheep that leads out this class is kind of the one that separates naturally. It's the one that combines the most positive traits. Here's a big centered one that's got a really cool round rib cage in it, very consistent in its muscle pattern as we handle it from front to rear. Maybe one of the longest hind-saddled sheep we've seen in the ring today, and something we don't talk a lot about, but that's one that offers a lot of product as we get to that 13th rib back. A sheep that we put into motion, I want to change this one out of its hip and just loosen it as it comes to the ground, allow that one to flex more as we go around the ring. But again, the one that puts the most of the best pieces together to lead out our drive. The two wethers we find in 2 and 3 is kind of where we have to sort in this class. They both offer some raw shape. They both offer some fresh handle. This one we put them into motion. The young lady's wether is just the one that's more comfortable. He's leveler about his top line and hip. His back leg plants and drives with more security. That's the big difference in that pair. Again, maybe a sheep I'd like to tuck up in his chest plate to make him more eye appealing from the side. But again, a sheep that's got some shape, some freshness, and again, has the ability to get out and track. Young man in 3, we talked about it on the side there. That is one big rack sheep. He's got a groove working down his top, and that's really neat. This is a sheep, though, that gets really short about his hip, but as we put him into motion, his rear legs want to track underneath, and on the side profile, that hip gets really steep and rolls. We just need to square that up and lengthen him out to make it more competitive and balanced. Young lady in 4, really neat patterned one. I mean, this one's square in all of its lines, no matter what angle. He's just small today. We just need more performance, more feed, more sheep to move him up. But again, the basic build of that wether is nice and I think has a lot of potential. Young lady rounds out our drive. Again, more of a plain commercial type sheep. One, again, that is long spine, big centered. Just needs more time on feed to fill out and add that muscle dimension on the spine that the others have in this drive. Let's put our hands together for all those kids.
In our first class of Blackface Market Lambs, first place went to Kinley Cameraman. Second, Ridley Verlick. Receiving blues, Cheyenne Zutenhorst, Kayla Fetters, and Caden Van Ravensway. Entering the ring now is our second class of Market Blackface Lambs. Attention sheep exhibitors, second call, class 3. Second call, class 3, Market Blackface Lambs. First call, class 4, Market Blackface Lambs.
Nice class of sheep with a lot of depth of quality, lots of kinds and builds here, and this makes it a little more challenging to work through. And the young lady's wether that starts off the class, undoubtedly the most powerful in terms of its muscle shape. This one works the most spread and a natural dimension down its top and from the rear. One from the side gives us a great look. To be completely honest, we put this one into motion. I got to change how it hinges out of that rear end, and I'd like to trim him up a little bit for my liking, but there's just too much good in those other pieces not to use him. Young man here in 2 does a really nice job getting that one stuck, and when he gets the head propped up, that one's back just sits into it right, and that's why he falls into second. He's the most comfortable in terms of his top line. He blends really good from his shoulder to his rib to his loin to his hip. He isn't the thickest, you're not the hardest, you're not the freshest, but everything fits the right way. And I think those are the really hard things to do when we build livestock, and that's why we find ourselves in 2. She's built really good. Keep up the good work. Young lady in 3, there's moments I told her I really like this sheep. Right here, she's getting it propped, and it's starting to run uphill. It's a big-legged, attractive one, but it's one we put into motion. That spine gets too high for me and too rigid. That neck drops too far down into her shoulders. I just got to change those couple of things, and I think you move up really quickly. Really fresh, really hard handling sheep. We just got to make it blend better, kind of like the one in front of it. Young lady in 4, here's a really big frame, really extended type of a sheep that's got some stoutness. As I get on this one and handle it and then get off to the side, this one gets flatter about its total body build. It's flat about its forerib, it's flat about its flank, just not as dimensional as we get through that hip region. I want to pull that sheep apart from front to rear and make it more 3-dimensional as we see it. Young lady in 5 here, excuse me, that is a 3-dimensional sheep. That's a big cage, round-bodied, wide-made one. With that, though, this is a smaller frame sheep that just tends to get deeper about her chest, plainer about her look, and of the class, it's the softest handling one. But again, 5 really nice projects. Let's give all those kids a big round of applause.
In our second class of Blackface Market Lambs, our first place went to Carly Seabrandt, second, Charlie Rukusek. Receiving blues, Charlie Vandenberg, Georgia Vandenberg, and Cora Fetters. Entering the ring now is our third class of Blackface Lambs. Attention sheep exhibitors, second call, class 4 market lambs. Second call, class 4 market lambs.
Oh, you want the money, huh? We just need the 2 You want the big cat? Oh, you getting ice cream?
Do we want ice cream too? Well, then we need the 10.
incredible set of sheep out here, and even for the young lady that rounds out the drive, that is a very, very good one that at a lot of places would win a lot of classes. And so don't hang your hat on one day, and just my opinion. I think all 4 of these are really good. As I sort through the class, the black one's the one that surfaces for me every time I guess we kind of go around. And the distinct advantage I think this sheep has comparative to the other 3 is how he's assembled in his chest plate, how he goes up into his shoulder, and how he comes out into his forerib. This is the most robust chested, the most round-ribbed sheep that allows that one to progress the most shape down his top. And there's no doubt across the top too as we get on him, that's a sheep that has more shape on top of his skeleton, and it's due to him being wider at the ground. Yeah, I'd like to change that one in his flank and loin edge design just a little bit. I'd like to deepen him in that flank. I'd like to square him up right in front of that hip. But I think there's too much good outside of that in that sheep not to use him. He's fresh, he's attractive, a lot of really good pieces. Young man in 2, there's a super stout one at the ground. There's one on the side profile. He really projects well with his outline. As I sit here and study him, especially right here, study his forerib, study where his front feet sit. He just needs to be wider chested. That rib cage needs to be blown apart and more round in its body shape for me to pass that other one. But he's a really square, really fresh one, just not quite as robust as we hit the ground with him. Young lady in 3, I like a lot of things about this ewe lamb. This is a really attractive one from the side, one that props up excellent, has tons of height of shoulder, lots of length of neck. Never seen her out of place in terms of her top line, though as we compare to the 2 above her. Not as robust in her muscle, not as big in her rack, especially not as big as her pin set. I just want to make her more robust again at the lower side of her cage and as her pin as she tracks away from us. Young lady in 4, as I talk to her, from her shoulders or her rib cage back, she's as robust as anything. That's a big cage, big top, big backed one. That's one that gets plainer about its front end. More out about its shoulder, deeper about its chest, just not quite as attractive for me today, but a really good sheep behind that. Let's give those 4 youth a big round of applause in this class.
In our 3rd class of market lambs, the black-face variety, first place went to Molly Hassoff, second, Kyle Coy, receiving blues, Elise Swart and Kendra Skipper. Entering the ring now will be our last class of black-face market lambs, and then after that, we will be bringing in our 1st and 2nd class winners of the black-face market lambs and choosing our champion and reserve champion.
Charlie get his going. Again, 2 super high quality lambs to evaluate on our upper end here. And, you know, if we want to argue and say we should switch them, I'm not going to disagree. I guess you'll understand here in a second why I see him the way I do. The young man that leads out the class. I think this one's a little bit fresher to the touch as we get our hands on him. As we get off to the side, I think this one props up better. He's taller at the point of the shoulder. I think he runs uphill. I think he gives us a fresher look through his front end. Yeah, I want to change him right at his hip-loin juncture. I want to square that up and fill it in a little bit more. But simply put, when we put that one into motion, I think we got to use him to win. That is the sounder, freer, moving one out of his hip juncture into the ground, and that's why he wins this class for me in this pair. Young ladies, Weather in second. That one's incredible in terms of raw shape out of its shoulder blade and working back. When she gets him propped up, gives us a great look. And so when we put that one into motion, he's just too tight out of that hip and how he strides on the ground for me to move him up and use him. But there's tremendously good things about that sheep that you got to appreciate. Young man in 3, here's a really good project sheep. I think his basic build and design is very good. Again, compared to the other 2, he just gets softer in his handle. He gets a little deeper about his look. But again, just a super good sheep that should be really proud of. Let's put our hands together for all those kids in this class.
In Class 4 of our Blackface Market Lamb, first place went to Kenny Hulseth, second, Mackenzie Rule, receiving a blue, Charlie Rukusek. Entering the ring now will be our first and second place class winners in the Blackface Market Lambs, and we will be choosing the champion and reserve champion Blackface Market Lamb. Attention in the sheep barn, if you were a champion in the market lambs, our champion speckle face, our champion white face, please be at the north end of the show ring for the overall champion market lamb. Attention sheep exhibitors, once we have chosen our champion and overall champion of the market lamb, we will be going into sheep showmanship. First call for our senior sheep showmanship.
A really deep division in our crossbreds today, and let's go ahead and put our hands together and congratulate all the kids. And I'll go out and select the 2 I like best here. So it's been really fun to come out and evaluate not only the stock today, but work with our kids. And I know we have showmanship still to go. But let's put our hands together for the staff that's helped put on this show. They've done a great job of keeping it moving, super organized, and well appreciated. Just like in Iowa, we have our own showdown series in South Dakota, and so I know how fun it is to be one of those kids that's selected to get to go to your showdown, and I know that means a lot to you guys. And I think there's two out here that are very highly competitive sheep that are going to do very well for these kids. Our crossbreds will be your champion reserve in the market division today.
Exhibiting our champion blackface market lamb was Kenny Hulseth, and our reserve was Mackenzie Rule. Our overall champion market lamb was exhibited by Kenny Hulseth, and our reserve, Mackenzie Rule. Attention sheep exhibitors, senior showmanship will be going into the ring. First call for our intermediate showmanship. First call for our intermediate showmanship. In the ring right now is our senior showmanship class. Attention sheep exhibitors, second call for intermediate showman, second call for intermediate showman, and first call for junior showmanship. First call for junior showmanship.
really nice group of kids to work with here, and I don't like showmanship. I'll just start with that. It's let's be honest, right? It's how's your animal working with you today? Are they in a good mood or not? How are you feeling today? And then I always tell people it's what the judge saw and what he didn't see. Okay? Were you lucky enough that I didn't see when you made a bad move, and were you lucky enough for I turned right when you had it stuck perfect? So, you guys do a great job. Don't take not placing in your top 3 very far, because you're doing a good job. The next person might line this up completely different. For me, these were the 3 people that stuck out as we went through the day. I think they're really consistent, smooth showmen. The young lady to my left is going to be your champion today. I just love her ring presence, how smooth she is when she works her sheep. She's intense, but in a different kind of way, and I like that. Young lady in 2, again, you're just a cool pickle in how you do your business. Almost every time I look over, it's set up, propped up, heads up nice and square. I think you just do a really good job. Young lady in 3, you do work that little bit harder, and I like pieces of that. You always have that thing propped up. I think you almost go too hard where your sheep dances a little bit because of it. If you relax just a shade, you'd be right in that zone. But congratulations to you guys today. Nice job.
Our top 3 senior showmen for the sheep. First place was Molly Hulseth, second, Kinley Camberman, and third, Elise Zwart. Just a reminder to those senior showmen that you will be participating in the Super Showmanship on Thursday afternoon. So our top 3 sheep showmen of the seniors are invited to come join Super Showmanship on Thursday afternoon at 3 o'clock. Entering the ring now is our intermediate sheep showmanship class. Second call for our junior sheep showman. Second call for our junior sheep showman.
another fun group here, and the young man on my left is going to be our class winner. And again, as we go through the day, I think he's been one of our really consistent showmen, one that, again, patiently works his sheep, gets them set up right. I just talked to him. I just want to see him find a groove there every once in a while, but that weather's been out here a lot the last 20 minutes. Young man in 2 here, again, he does a really nice job showing that sheep. Good composure, good ring awareness. Every once in a while he gets just a little fidgety with his feet and wants to keep placing them. Little nitpicky stuff, but he did a really good job presenting those lambs he brought out today. Young lady in 3, I like your intensity. I like how you get that head up, get him driving. We just talked about maybe changing your position a little bit so you're not leaning against the lamb. But let's put our hands together for all these kids in this intermediate division.
Taylor, head up, head up, head up. Go, go. Give us space. Round 1, round 2, go, Charlie.
In our intermediate showmanship class, our first place went to Kenny Hulsup, our second, Clancy DeBrick, and third, Cora Fetters. Entering the ring now is our junior showmanship class.
Let's give these kids a big round of applause for their efforts today. Really fun group here, and young man in the middle, you're going to be my champion showman today, okay? And I just wanted to say thanks for not disappointing when you came out here, because when you were showing all day, man, like that kid, he's out here to win showmanship today. Man, he's just on point. Great ring presence. He has great eye contact. Gets that thing set up. Just a lot of things I wish my own kids at home would do. That's awesome. Great job. Young lady with your Dorset, you're going to be 2. Much like our class winner here. She gets after it, gets that thing propped up. I just wish she'd be a little softer with her hands on that body every once in a while. Young lady in front of me, you're going to be 3. There's moments that you do fantastic, and then there's moments you just kind of, I don't know if you lose focus or what it is, but if you can get more consistent with keeping your sheep set up, you could easily move up. So let's put our hands together for all these kids in this class.
Exhibiting our junior sheep showman winner was Charlie Rokusek. Second, Baylor Van Riggenmorder. And third, Charlie Vandenberg. Let's give a round of applause to our judge today for coming to Sioux County. Let's thank Adam. Thanks, Adam.